What's good with the people? Shout out. What's going on, man? Sitting up here hearing this Lloyd Banks versus Fabolous. And I'm gonna keep it 100 with you real quick. It ain't even a goddamn. It ain't even. It ain't even close. First of all, they not even in the same weight class. Let me start off by saying that Lloyd Banks and Fabolous are not in the same weight class. Okay, they're not in the same weight class. Now, Fabolous, ever since we've known Fabolous, right? And I agree with 50, right? 50 said Fabolous never had a moment. And guess what? He's absolutely right. Fabolous never had a moment. Fabolous has a lot of songs, and a lot of songs that are, and I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. I don't even think Fab was the best in Desert Storm, right? I'm just gonna say I don't even think he was the best in Desert Storm, right? My whole thing with Fab is, and this is my thing, you know what I'm saying? We go like this. Fab is nice, but Fab is more of a, I would say, more of a radio type of rapper, right? He's a radio type of rapper. Lloyd Banks is not a radio rapper, okay? He's not a radio rapper. I'm just throwing, this is just my personal opinion. Just my personal opinion. I like Fab. Fab is nice, but I feel like, I'm not gonna say Fab's overrated, no, because technically out the Rap About It podcast that he's on, he's actually out of them, right? I think him and Dave, Dave is nice. I don't have a problem with Dave, right? Dave East is nice. Shout out to Dave East. And shout out to Dave East and the Ransom project that they had. Lloyd Banks, nah, I mean, Fabolous, nah. Fabolous is a different type of artist. And I would keep it 100 with you. I don't even believe that that he had the best verse on the Rap About It podcast, right? If I didn't just say that. He didn't. Dave East had the best verse, right? So it go like this. Ever since Lloyd Banks came out, right? Check this out, right? I'm not gonna spend too much time. It's probably gonna be a 10. It's not even gonna be a 20-minute video, but it go like this. Ever since Lloyd Banks has came out, right? Being on G Unit, he has always been considered the punchline fucking king, right? That's what was just said, right? Go back and listen to some old Lloyd Banks. Wow, crazy. Let's keep it 100 with you. By far, he was the best in G Unit. By far, he was the best in G Unit. No, Game was not better than him. Of course, Yayo wasn't better than him. Lyrically, 50 not better, wasn't better than him. Young Buck, not better than Lloyd Banks. So just in his clique, he was the best one in his clique. With Fab, it's not. Do you hear? First of all, we're not even gonna deal with the past. Let's deal with the future, right? Have you checked out Lloyd Banks' album? Just the last. I'm not talking about G Unit Lloyd Banks. Forget G Unit Lloyd Banks. So even if we do, what do you want to do? What Lloyd Banks would you want to sit up here? You want to do G Unit or non G Unit Lloyd Banks? Whatever which one, he's going to. It's about lyrics. It's not necessarily about radio hits. Well, you can put your radio hits, that's fine. But when we come back for lyrics, and let me just say this, and I'm not just talking about lyrics to women, I'm talking about lyrics for women, lyrics necessary if you want to say for the streets, lyrics just for regular people trying to get by. That's what Lloyd Banks brings to the table by far. If you let's keep this let's keep this 100 right now. And I'm not talking about when Lloyd Banks first came in, right? Think about how many artists was coming out, right? Think about then until now. How many artists are still around and still a factor? And I'm talking about the new artists that Lloyd Banks came out with. Automatically, I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. Just for his rebound after G Unit, his rebound after G Unit is remarkable. Yet we don't we don't sometimes as and we can't expect like the MTVs or the BETs to give somebody like Lloyd Banks credit, right? That's going to have to come from his fan base. And Lloyd Banks' fan base is he has a really strong fan base just as well as Fabolous. But here's my critical thing with Fabolous, if you heard me before with the Fabolous. Let me tell you, Fabolous to me was an artist that radio and in our time radio needed, right? But once again, if you remember the beginnings of Fab, I used to think I used to think until I heard Mace and Fabolous on the Desert Storm on the DJ Clue album, and I was like, oh, cause Fabolous sounded like Mace. Okay, I'm gonna just keep it 100 with you. Fabolous sounded like Mace. Even when we list, it go like this. When I look at Fabolous, right, and Fabolous career, I'm just giving you. Fabolous is still dope. Don't get it. I'm not. Listen. Fabolous is still dope. I'm not saying Fabolous is not dope. But my personal opinion, who's better is who's better would be Lloyd Banks. Here's now, like 50 did say, the soul. What is it? Fabolous mixtape though is cold, right? Cuffing season, like Fabolous got hits. We not look. I'm not saying Fabolous ain't got no hits. Fabolous got hits. He technically has more hits than what Lloyd Banks will have, right? Can we say that? He will have more hits, right? But lyrics, those lyrics, you can't knock the lyrics. You can't knock. I would love to hear Lloyd Banks and Black Thought on a record together. Lloyd Banks, his metaphors, punchlines, his ability to be able to reach somebody like even myself lyrically, right? Lyrically. So I don't think it's not like I said, it's not. I don't think they're in the same bracket. Now, if somebody was like Ransom and Lloyd Banks, I think that would be a more RJ Payne. Hell, Joe Buttons. I think that would be closer. I think that would be closer. But I don't think Fab is in that conversation. You know what I'm saying? Within the Lloyd Banks. I just don't. I don't think he's in the same conversation as Lloyd Banks. You know what I'm saying? And there's just no, like I said, there's no. But even his diss, let's keep it 100 with you. Like my, I felt like it was just too soft. Like what angle? Like the angle that he was. Put it to you this way. It go like this. If you're going to try to bar up 50, right? Fab ain't got more money than him. If that's what we gonna bring to the table. So even when he mentioned, and now I'm talking about Fab verse, even when he mentioned the window shopper, it was like, this nigga just got a whole fucking movie. 50 just got a whole movie studio, acres in Louisiana. So it's it's different. You understand? It's different. I just didn't like that verse. I didn't like that verse. Just did not hit. That verse just, it was like, you could do better. You could have did better. Now, go listen to some of Lloyd Banks' subliminal disses. TikTok's called. Yeah, you could say, well, he knows him. He knows him. You know, he knows that you, but when we talking about rap and lyrics, right? It's not, but real quick, I did want to add this. This just brought up to my, this just brought up to my mind, right? Jay Mills is killing battle rap right now. He killing. Hey, shout out to Jay Mills. Shout out to Jay Mills. Jay Mills is killing it right now. Verb, where you at? Verb, where you at? Look. Since we talking about lyrics, let me just get on it real quick. Look, man. Look. Let me say this. And you know what? When I did my top song for 2025, one of the things I forgot was Daylight High Chew. Now, Jay Mills is reminding me, right? He's reminding me. He's kind of reminding me, yeah, he kind of looking like, the Daylight verse. Oh, was, y'all know who I'm talking about, right? I'm forgetting his name. What? Oh my gosh, what is his name? I cannot think of his name right now. Joey Badass. There we go. Joey Badass. Daylight versus Joey Badass. Right. Check this out. Uh, at that battle, right? I'm gonna say this, right? I'm gonna say legendary, and the reason why I'm gonna say legendary, right, is because everybody had to get involved in that battle. Now, I know maybe 2, 3 years down the line, maybe people gonna forget about it. But that battle to me was 10, 10 times way more entertaining than the Drake and the goddamn Kendrick. Okay? Way more entertaining. So, check this out. When you have lyricists, right? Straight lyricists, a motherfucker that can get on, that can tell a story or just make you feel what that person is saying. And that's what Joey and Daylight did, and everybody else that got um, into the battle, right? Now, it's funny when we're thinking about battle rap because sometimes you would think an artist such as maybe Fabolous, right? I'm just using his name as an example. I'm not saying it. I'm just using it as an example. You can use anybody. But when you have a radio artist, right? And then you have a lyricist and when they battle, right? See, it was different between Drake and Kendrick because let's keep it 100 with you, right? This is, let me just say this. Drake, I feel, had no, should have never said anything. And I feel like Kendrick should have never said anything. Let me tell you why. Because once again, that was two different weight classes. It wasn't the same weight class. Two different weight classes. Drake is a radio artist, right? And we have seen the artist that has helped him out. And, Kendrick is a lyricist. And so, therefore, you go attack a lyricist. It reminded me too much of Eminem and NSYNC and Britney Spears, right? There's no way Britney Spears can come out with a song talking about Eminem. No way NSYNC is coming out. Blackstreet Boys, they're not coming out songs talking about Eminem. So he can do that. But when we were talking about necessarily just lyricists, I felt like Kendrick, you could have went at somebody doper than Drake. You understand? So now, and this when it comes to battle rap, such as your Verb and J Mills, like that, I'm expecting, I'm expecting a Verb to come, not to talk, because that's what you get paid. That's what you got paid to do for the last 20 years. You got paid to battle. Battle this nigga. Say something. Say something. You know what I'm saying? That's what we want to sit up here as fans. We want to hear your response through music. Especially if a nigga about to sit up here and just dog walk you lyrically. Okay? I don't want to hear you talk. Go. Go. So, that's my thing. As far as, like I said, let's get back to it. Lloyd Banks versus Fabolous. It's not a contest, bro. It's not a contest. It's not a contest. We're not gonna make it a contest. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Like we can't. We can't. We can't. We can't. as much as I like Fabolous, I would have never even, me personally, out of all the rappers, I would have never put them two in the same. Like I said, they're not in the same. They're not in the same. What you call it? But the reason why, me personally, the reason why I did take, I wanted to sit up here because for my personal opinion, I've always been a Lloyd Banks fan, and I've been a Fabolous fan. But it's just something about his Halloween Havocs, Cody. Go listen to, man, like, he's different. He's different with the pen. His pen game is just different. He different. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Lloyd Banks. Shout out to Fabolous. Shout out to all the rappers that I mentioned because I fuck with all of y'all. All right, but in this particular, I'm saying I choose Lloyd Banks. You know what I'm saying? I'm out. Peace.